Greetings and welcome back to our three-part series of making our VP44 Cummins work how it actually should. Sponsored by MDC Diesel. In our last episode, you saw us put on this smaller than before turbo. We went from a 369 67.80 ball bearing turbo, which had obnoxious EGTs and terrible spool time, down to this Smedding unit, which is a 363 68 with a .70 exhaust housing from MDC Diesel. And so far, results are fantastic. And now we will be taking out our 150 horsepower injectors that we've been running for quite some time in favor of these Ducky 200 horsepower 7x12 injectors, also from MDC Diesel. If you need to know how to install injectors, well, we have videos for that I will link below. As of right now, we got our fuel lines off, injector hold downs off, all 6 injectors, and our .93 feed tubes, also from MDC Diesel. Unfortunately, we did not get any fresh O-rings for our feed tubes. And if you will see the corrosion right here, this was the O-ring that came off of it, and it is clearly got a flat spot all the way around in it. So it was causing some fuel drain back issues, which would make the truck kind of hard to start, or if it sat for enough days, it just wouldn't start at all until you smacked it with some ether. So this O-ring that we have on here is from Ace, and it's as best as we can get, but there's still quite a bit of protrusion. Now, it's either because this O-ring was just super clapped, and I don't remember seeing a fresh one in a while, or it's too big. But either way, I'll slap an injector in and find out. I forget how much of this video has seen our connecting tube O-ring dilemma, but there's the one that came off that was torn, number 6, that was causing our hard start issues. There's the ones from Ace that ended up too big, and I finally got smart enough and remembered the factory set of connecting tubes, which has a fresh set of O-rings on it. So we are still reusing, but this O-ring is clearly in far better shape than that one. So we are actually back in business.
Big ass kid.
Oh yeah. I got distracted and we didn't do a final clip with them, but that was our red TIS 24x14s headed off with their new owner. And as much as I liked them, these are the new units. I don't know if they're staying though. These tires, definitely not a fan. We'll probably yank these and try and just sell them separately. Well, first I'll clean them and just post them for sale, see what happens. But we'll probably yank these tires, sell them separately from the wheels, and then these are going to turn into money for our 26x14 funds. And then we're going to powder. Here, show them the back sides. I can maybe move it. Oh, they are light.
Dude.
They weigh nothing compared to those red ones.
Nothing. You can slap those on and lay a heater right now if you wanted to.
And as you can see, these are polished on the back sides straight from Hostile. So if they get powder coated, they just look extra spiffy. But I personally am not too big on the design. It's not terrible, but either way, this is our trade up, and we're going to see what we can do wheeling and dealing on our way to some 26s. It is now fully assembled by certified mechanic little brother. Fuel lines are cracked, so now we can reprime it and let all of the neighbors know that my truck runs again. Line number 1 is the only one that hasn't given us fuel yet. Yep. The excess power batteries are up for the task. I'm just making sure we don't take out the starter during these activities. Oh, we got the wave. He'll tighten that up. Next time, she's going off. The video for the excess power batteries hasn't dropped yet, but you guys are going to like that one, because we have fantastic amounts of battery power at all times. Like, we could sit here and do this for like another hour probably. The starter would get hot and tell us to kick rocks before these batteries would die, I think. Alrighty, this is the time. Let her rip. Okay, I guess not that time. It's close. He's saying the battery terminals are pretty warm to the touch over there. So we're going to let those cool down. And then maybe do a little bit of ether assist. Did you burn yourself?
Mildly.
Oh, heck yeah, we can totally see that.
So you break the skin a
Nice.
tiny bit.
So they definitely put out a lot of power. It's a good thing we put nice, big, beefy battery cables in here, too. See, and that other side that's getting warm, that's not a traditional battery either.
This side's hotter.
That one is?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Cooled down already. This one's like...
Driver's side is an AGM, and passenger side is a super bank, which is what applies all of that power and takes the load off of the AGM battery over there. So you get full voltage and power from that one over there, and it recharges nice and quick. But apparently it does get warm when you sit here and crank on it like that a bunch. Alright, we're going to go for the good old ether assist, try and get the process over with. Alrighty, go ahead. Alrighty then. Right to life. Like that, then that's fantastic. That's like super choppy. Alright, we also got the oil feed line on the turbo, nice and patched up again as well. So all we gotta do is slap the intake on and see if it starts again in the morning. Because that O-ring had to have been our issue. We diagnosed it in all the short form videos. The air dog and everything was fine. And you guys haven't seen that. But that's definitely going to fix it. Cut to morning time. We filmed it for the short form video. But it just sat here and sat on the starter for like 25-30 seconds. And then it eventually needed ether to actually turn on. Even though we just reprimed it last night and all I did was sit here. So, injectors are in. But that is still an ongoing issue. So far, the first mile is good. It worked. We'll let it warm up still before we give it the beans. we have the 200s in it. So naturally it should be a little bit smokier. But as far as driving around normally, no difference. And then we'll get in it a little more now she's got some heat and see what happens. Okay, so it did smoke a little more. But I don't know what you felt from the passenger seat, but we was just moving.
It spooled and went better than ever.
Moving. I didn't even lock it up either. It sounded super healthy. Very solid first pull. Well, after spooling the turbo up right in front of a cop and then not getting in trouble for it, we're gonna go ahead and park it for now. And then we'll head out to Rob's house later maybe or something. Or we have a new set of wheels and tires coming together. And we'll need to go out away from law enforcement to do any further testing. Because you go from 0 to well over city speed limits pretty quick as she's running down. Conservatively tuned at the moment from what the injectors can do at least. This next acceleration is going to be me driving like a perfectly normal human being, which usually results in no smoke. Any extra effort with your right foot to make sure it's clean either. You can just accelerate and it's fine. But then when you put your foot down and you want more fuel, then it's there. Kind of like a quality set of injectors should be. I don't know what I was feeling the other day when I thought the second gear needed to be adjusted. This is terrible. Gear pulling here. But it was grabbing and going just fine. And that is where we're going to wrap this one up, because real time, tomorrow is the dual dyno day. So we actually get to see what our turbo, injectors, and those, which you still have to watch the next video before you get to dyno day, what all of those three will actually gain us horsepower-wise. And given what the butt dyno says, we should definitely make our best number yet. Now, I don't know anything about the first dyno, so that's unknown. But the second dyno is at PRT diesel. So it will be loaded and properly set up for the diesels. So we'll get at least one good number. But ideally, we'll have two back-to-back, because when do you get to run on two different dynos in the same day? And it looks like all of the friends are going to make it out now, so hopefully we'll get some action of their trucks on the dyno as well, as little brother's truck over there is also going to hit the dyno again after some much-needed tuning improvements. So, drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on dyno day and our wheel and tire video, which is coming right after this one.